Welcome to all the Gemini rising signs of the zodiac to your astrology for August. I'm Cosmic Girl. Trust you're doing well and thank you for being here. We're going to talk about planets in transits, the lunations in the month of August, what it all means for you as a Gemini rising sign. We're going to open up the video discussing your chart ruler first. We're going to get into the meat and bones astrologically of what Mercury is up to in the month of August and what this foretells for you astrologically. Okay, so Mercury opening up the month of August is still in its retrograde phase. It will go direct on the 11th, but will stay in Leo, your natal third house, the siblings, extended family members, travel, education, community for the whole month of August. Chart ruler Mercury will not ingress into Virgo until next month in September. So your chart ruler isn't going anywhere for the whole month of August until next month. So this is important. So we're going to get into the astrological depths here because that's what you're here for, yeah? What's going on with my chart ruler Mercury? Well, this is the digs. Chart ruler Mercury this month has a few aspects. The biggest day for you as a Gemini rising sign will be I think it's the 11th. No, I'm pretty confident. It's the 11th of August. That's going to be a standout day astrologically. And also the new moon on the 23rd of August. And we'll get into it when we get to that part of the video. So let's go through what's been going on for you as a Gemini rising sign with your chart ruler Mercury retrograding in Leo and your natal third house opening up the month of August before it goes direct on the 11th. When your chart ruler Mercury is in its retrograde phase, this isn't your first rodeo. Chart ruler Mercury goes into a retrograde 3 times up to 4 times annually. So it's not going to be something that's super unfamiliar to you. And what that simply means is when our personal planets, which Mercury, Venus, and Mars are our personal planets, are in a retrograde phase, which your chart ruler Mercury is at the moment until the 11th before it goes direct. What this means is that Mercury is acting more solar. So planets in the Hellenistic teachings and methods, the sun is a primary motion, which means it rises in the east and it sets in the west. It anti-culminates underneath the earth and then rises in the east, culminates above and then sets in the west, and this is a constant cycle. Now I'm going deep for you to give you a really educated based understanding of what retrograde phases mean, because your chart ruler goes into a retrograde so many times a year. And it's nothing to fear if you're coming and listening to astrology going, what's going on for me out of fear? Then you're sort of missing the point of what astrology is trying to demonstrate and talk to you about, because that's what the planets are. They are symbols that talk to us. So your chart ruler Mercury is talking to you. So primary motion is something that the sun goes in and all the planets circle up and above, down and up and above, down every single day. And that's the path of the sun. That's called primary motion. It's a constant. So when our personal planets, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, are going into a retrograde, they're acting solar. They're acting in the primary motion. It's the daily grind, daily in, daily out, up, down, anti-culminate, up, down, anti-culminate. It's something on, for better words, something on repeat, something that's consistent. Okay. The secondary motion represents when the planets, when they're in their normal phases, meaning they're direct, they are traveling from west to east. They go against the grain of the primary motion of the sun. So when they're in retrograde phases, they're going with the sun. They're going consistently. So there's a consistent loop or an experience that's going on for you opening up the month of August before your chart ruler Mercury goes direct on the 11th. And then Mercury going direct basically goes against the grain of the sun and goes in its own direction, which it's normal uh, normal rotation. Okay, your chart ruler Mercury is in the phase of going into the morning star phase, which is a more yang phase of Mercury's morning star position. When it's in the yin phase in the evening star position, it's more receptive and passive. But when it's in the morning star position, it's more aggressive and yang, which means more dynamic movement. Okay. So I'm giving you the lay of the land because it's important that people understand what a retrograde is, not to fear it, but to work with it. So what's happening opening up the month of August until the 11th before chart ruler goes direct, Mercury, it's going in a consistent motion on a daily in the natal third house of Leo, where the sun is also co-present. So you've had the sun in its own sign rulership of Leo, a very strong position for the sun, and your chart ruler Mercury is there. So you're acting solar on a consistent basis, meaning your your focus, if you will, is on what goes on the daily regarding travel, education, siblings, extended family members, your local community, things that are familiar to you, like your train ride, your commute to work, your petrol station, your grocery store, your neighbors. That's the natal third house. So you as a Gemini rising sign are experiencing something on repeat, something that is really quite solar, m- the sun, which is father, like father figures, leadership, authority, pride, ego, standing out from a crowd, being individual, interested in creativity and fun and theatre and music and theatrics. That's the sun in Leo. So that's been on repeat. So a lot of activity is going on for the Gemini rising signs regarding the natal third house. So your chart ruler is in the natal third house of the sun. So you are very dominant, maybe being very fixated on what you want, how you stand out from siblings or differences with education and travel and extended family members and your community. A lot of fun, but it can be a lot of just a lot of heat going on here. So you may be feeling like you're burning the candle at both ends. Like there's just a lot of stresses. Or there's a lot of responsibility, especially with fathers and father figures or being a leader and authority regarding siblings, extended family members, travel, education, and community. That's a lot. So your chart ruler Mercury in that retrograde phase, it's just keeping on. So nothing's budging, for better words. But come the 11th of August, then things are going to be easier for you to move more in a direction that feels less fixated and stuck. Because Leo is a fixed sign, something's stuck and sticky and not going anywhere. Okay. So that's helpful for you when you can start doing what you want to do, for better words, against the sun, against the norm, for better words. You're running your own race for the month of August moving into September. It's sort of like the transit indicates that you're rebelling against authority or fathers or responsibility or standing up. It's like you start repelling or feel like it's not my thing anymore. That kind of transit and transitions happening for you at the moment in the month of August. So that's a lot to deal with, like just a lot. Okay. So that is where you keep that information in your back pocket. We're going to talk about planets in transits and the lunations, and we're not saying they're not important, but primarily your focus as a Gemini rising is on what's going on for your chart ruler Mercury. Well, that's what's going on. There's just a lot that you consistently have to deal with on the daily, for better or worse. It can be really high highs and low lows, but it's just a lot going on because Leo is very loud. Leo is all about authority and power and being seen as individual. I'm not like everyone else, and your chart rulers back perhaps behaving that way. I'm not like everyone else. I want to do my own thing, or I want to hang with people that are individual and they're funky and they're fun and they're entertaining. That kind of thing. Lots of concerts or music or theatre or performance. Maybe you're putting on a performance. I don't know. But that's what's going on for you as a Gemini rising sign opening up the month of August. Now we're going to get into the planets in transits. Venus and Jupiter are cruising in Cancer in your natal second house. Okay, so Jupiter and Venus are in the moon's temple. So they're acting lunar, for better words. They're acting like the moon, which is interested in nurturing and mothering and being compassionate and emotional and intuitive and understanding, like family oriented. They're interested in protecting and securing things that are important. So Jupiter and Venus in the natal second house of your livelihood, your assets, your possessions, your skills, your resources, your money, things that you value are super, super important at the moment. Like maybe hyper emotional at the moment with Jupiter and Venus cruising through your natal second house of Cancer, being very aware of what's coming in and out of your daily checking account and being really quite mama bear like, if you will, very protective, like don't screw with my stuff that I value and that I love. So this can be quite the transit when the two benefics are in your natal second house of Cancer to the 25th of the month. Then Venus will move on, which we'll get there later in the video. But until now, the two benefics, which are life-giving planets, is giving you a lot of energy and seeing the benefit in what supports you, your resources, your assets, your possessions, your livelihood, skills and resources, things that you value, like really going through it at the moment and really getting down to brass tacks regarding your financial health, which is great. But it can be a bit touchy, really a bit emotional as well. Venus in Cancer is very I love and value this, and emotionally, this can be very like relationships can be really going through it as well with this transit. Relationships, I value this, I'm going to be protecting this, and you love this, and you value that. So there could be a lot going on here with Jupiter and Venus in the natal second house of Cancer till the 25th as well. So I don't think the astrology is particularly light for the Gemini rising signs, to be astrologically transparent. The planets are speaking really, really loud, and your chart ruler is coming into that morning star phase. I think it was about the 18th, 17th or 18th of this month. You'll see your chart ruler Mercury in the morning sky with Venus and Jupiter really early in the morning, because they're all in the morning star phases. So we've got a lot of like powerful planets really speaking to us on individuality and going for something. So there's big things happening for the Gemini rising signs, Virgo rising signs, Libra rising signs, Cancer rising signs, Taurus rising signs, Sagittarius rising signs, my Pisces rising signs. There's so much going on for those zodiac signs. Okay. Anyway, But in short, astrologically, with the two benefics in your natal second house, yeah, just vehemently emotionally protective and very sensitive and security minded about your resources and what supports you until the 25th. Jupiter will stay here until the 30th of June 2026. So Jupiter's transit's longer. So Jupiter in the natal second house will really have you focused on, getting it all sorted, getting all the chaos streamlined and being an authority over your own life up until the 30th of June. Not saying everything's going to fall to pieces after that, but before then, Jupiter's really giving you lots and lots of opportunity to secure things that nourish you and support you in a tangible way. Really quite lovely. Okay, so for the whole month, Uranus in your natal first house, no less, is sextiling Saturn and Neptune retrograde. So this is like an easy connection for the whole month. So think you are easily connecting to friends, community, collaborations with other people's groups and societies, benefactors and allies, people that can support you. They're at arm's length for the whole month should you want to engage at your own free will. So there are connections that can help you out should you need it. So if you need a helping hand, you need time out, you need to decompress, you need someone to talk to, or just kick the shoes off and go dancing. It's that kind of month where you can at your own free will with Uranus sextiling Saturn and Neptune retrograde for the month. Pluto is sextiling Saturn and Neptune retrograde as well. And so these outer planets and Saturn, these are all filtering in the background. They're like key protagonists working magic in the background that isn't really acute. So for the whole month with Pluto connecting with Saturn and Neptune in that natal 11th house of people that can help you basically or support you. In the ninth house, there may be opportunities to take some trips or learn something new, get into a new religious practice or any epistemology like Buddhism, Tai Chi, astrology. You can engage with things that are bigger than your normal environment. So whether that's traveling somewhere different, learning something high end like going to university or a community college, there's opportunity to do that. Friends might extend some invitations to get out there in the world at large with this transit for the whole month as well, with these connections with these outer planets and Saturn, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune all working well together. There is these subtle things filtering in the background where you might be umming and ahhing about going on traveling or learning or going on an adventure kind of thing in the background for the month. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the first of the month. Straight out of the gate, Venus is squaring Saturn and Neptune. Yeah, this is a day where this alignment with Venus saying no, a square is a conflict of tension, saying no to Saturn and Neptune in your 11th house of friends and benefactors. This could be like not taking an olive branch, not on the same page regarding your values and things that you love. Other people might be saying, "Oh, you need to be doing this or doing that," and you might be like, "No, no, I'm not real sure if I'm confident about that, or I don't really know if I'm ready to go out and party tonight or engage with being outdoors or hanging with friends kind of day." So you may want to shut down the world on the 1st of August, or just feel a little bit emotionally, yeah, maybe emotionally insecure, not so confident on the first. For some reason, astrologically, it's what's indicated on the first. On the 6th, this is a pretty big day astrologically. Mars is going into Libra, Mars is trining Uranus, and Mars is opposing Saturn and Neptune. Okay, so let's talk about the aspects first, and then we'll get into what Mars in Libra transit can signal for you astrologically. Okay, so the 6th with Mars trining Uranus in your natal first house and also opposing Saturn and Neptune. This is like I'm doing my own thing kind of day again. Like, I don't want to play. I want to do what I want to do. I just want to create something, do something different, do something adventurous and fun. And you might be giving the bird to other people and not really going with a status quo kind of day on the 6th. So yeah, it might be another lay low, I'm doing my own thing, I don't agree with everyone kind of day. All right, let's talk about Mars's transit in Libra for you. Okay, so Mars in Libra is in your natal 5th house of what you create. That natal 5th house is what you create. You actually create things in the natal 5th house. But what you actually create and what inspires you is something that brings you joy and love and inspiration. That's the natal 5th house. And in Libra, well, Libra can be about music and the arts, beauty, fashion. She's intellectual. She likes debate. She likes to talk. She's very social. She's into relationships. That's Libra. So Mars here from the 6th to the 22nd of September, Mars is doing its very best to debate and weigh up what's fair and just and what's right within relationships and things that you love and that you want to create and artistically put a flair towards things that are beautiful. And while that's a wonderful way to be, it's also a transit that's all about what's balanced and what's equal, what needs to be addressed kind of transit when we're talking about the natal 5th house of creativity, relationships, sex, and fertility. So this transit with Mars in Libra is it's going to be a spicy one. Heads up there. Because Mars in Libra wants to fight the good fight. Mars wants to be an ambassador for injustice and things that are just wrong. They're not balanced. Libra, they're not in harmony. Libra. And Mars wants to create conflict and war. So this transit can be a lot. It really can be because we can't skim over the realities of the astrology. Like the 5th house is such a fucking great house. We create things we love, Libra, art, music, like all the things we just talked about. And with Mars comes in and wants to really put on the heat and can challenge things that you love to create. So Mars is like challenging you. Oh, why do you love that? Why do you want to do that? Why is that in relationships so important? Why is that creativity or that artistic thing that you love so important? Like Mars can really feel like it's questioning what you love and blocking your creative muse or your relationships. Because this is about intimacy and sex and dating and romance. So this can be a very, very volatile transit. I am not going to sugarcoat it. Doesn't work. Because that's when astrologers get a reputation that you don't know what you're talking about. Mars in Libra is, but Mars's primary archetypal meaning is I want passion, I need stimulation, I need something to fight for. And in the natal 5th house, you can be challenged by what you love and create, or you could really throw down the anvil of conflict to others and go, don't step on my shoes, don't step or intrude on my relationship or things that I love, things that I want to do. You don't stop me from being happy and joyful. It's a double-edged sword kind of transit. So heads up there with Mars in Libra in your natal 5th house from the 6th of August to September 22nd. Okay. On the 9th, we have our first lunation of the month. We've got a full moon in Aquarius at 17 degrees in your natal 9th house. Mars is trining Pluto on the day of this birthlination of the month of August. With a full moon lighting up your natal ninth house, which we talked about, which is travel, higher education like academia, universities, community colleges, religion, any epistemology, like we mentioned before, foreigners and foreign places, things that are bigger than us. And it's the house of belief and faith, the natal ninth house. And here you are having a full moon moment where things have come to a culmination point regarding that natal ninth house. So, what this means astrologically is that when the moon's in the full moon phase, it's like what you didn't see, you now see moment. It's like a, aha, I see it for what it is. So, when you see the natal ninth house clearly about your belief, your faith, and your philosophy about life, your ideas and concepts about academia, higher education, travel, foreigners and foreign places. When you just know something, you see it for what it is, it's hard to unsee it. And there's nothing wrong with being shy at the time of this full moon on the ninth about, look, this is my beliefs. This is what I love, what I'm attracted. This is my philosophy. This is what I believe about foreigners, foreign places, higher education, travel, and religion. And this is what I believe. So when you are expressing that this is it, that then it can't be questioned, or can it? Or can it? Mars is in Libra, trining Pluto retrograde. So this indicates that this full moon on the ninth is like a, a, a difference of ideals or concepts or beliefs with something artistic or creative or with a romantic partner or something to do even with children. Something that makes you feel young and fun and excited about life. That's the natal fifth house where we create joy. We create it. And you've got Mars trining that full moon. And this is like a laying down of the anvil kind of full moon where you go, I'm not budging. This is it. You will now see the truth of me. I am declaring what I love. And you may be in conflict with other people about it, or people may be in conflict with you about it. So be it. Whatever it is on the ninth, that's coming full circle, for better words. This isn't anything new that's been developing or coming to this point. It could be a breaking point of a friendship, a relationship, a dream, a goal, or an ally or someone that you thought was always going to be there. It's all of a sudden you see things for what they are and you say, yeah, that's right, because we're different. And I haven't been saying it with my chest. I've been sort of skimming over things. So it's a big full moon for all of us. But for you in your natal ninth house, it's just coming to a, a resolution, an ending to like fighting for what you believe in. There's no more need to push an agenda. But I think Mars in Libra is really the key protagonist here, egging something on the ninth. So not a particularly easy full moon is what I'm getting for you as a Gemini rising sign on the 9th of August. Okay, moving on to the 11th. This is the part of the video, if you will, where you go, oh, I have to sit up straight because Cosmic Girls just mentioned Mercury, and that's my chart ruler. What's happening? Well, a lot on the 11th. And I think there was a lot on the 9th as well for you. Okay. Mercury now goes direct. So it's not acting the same. So it's not doing the same old. It's now Mercury is going, I'm doing my own thing. So you're going against siblings, extended family members, travel, education, the community. You're getting out of that now. You're sort of going, nah, I know where I'm going, where I'm heading. Thank you very much. I'm off to the races, for better words. So Leah's going direct at 4 degrees in your natal third house of Leo. The sun's still here until the 22nd. So it can be a little bit challenging because the sun still might be going, oi, 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 and you might be going, here, no, giving them the bird and going, no, I'm out of here. So when Mercury does station direct on the 11th in Leo at 4 degrees, it might bring back something from the 30th of June, a conversation, a travel plan, or itinerary, something to do with money or communication was in flux, or you were just thinking about it, or someone else is thinking about something. Well, now from the 11th, something moves forward. So the waiting game is over, if you will, if you've been in some sort of stasis from the 30th of June. On the 11th, things start moving forward. Okay. So we know now that your chart ruler is direct on from the 11th, doing you in the community with travel, education, siblings, and extended family members. You're on the move more. You're sort of getting out of the clutch, if you will, of the sun, at least until the 22nd of this month, because then the sun will move on. So you're still maybe under the radar or still trying to find your feet in your own authority. Okay. From the 11th to the 18th, Mercury is sextiling Mars. So your fifth house and your third house are easily in unison here. So what this means, it's easy to have conflict. It's easy to have sharp communication, like shooting from the hip kind of communication. Can be a lot of travel and movement from the 11th to the 18th. So lots of back and forth dialogue, phone calls, emails, text messages, traveling, and lots of quick thoughts in the mind. So be kind to yourself, drink green tea, get nutritious food into your body, sleep when you can, just take it easy for a week from the 11th to the 18th. There's going to be a lot going on for you. And the last thing that happens on the 11th, yes, astrologically, the 11th is a standout day. Venus and Jupiter are conjunct in Cancer in your natal second house at 13 degrees. Okay, so we talked about the significance of Venus and Jupiter being very mama bear and protective and emotional about what they love and what they value, livelihood, assets, possessions, and really going for their heart's desire here, being very, very emotionally protective, very aware of what they need to take action on regarding helping you out, Gemini rising sign, knowing the forest for the trees regarding your finances and your financial health and position. So when Venus and Jupiter conjunct on this day, this can be quite the day when you may be really ready to cut an asset or possession off, or a relationship, or something to do with your work. You might be ready to go, I am absolutely done on the 11th, or you may be doing or behaving like that, for better words, or making firm decisions like that because you get a financial influx. So you are the beneficiary of something tangible, financial, that gives you the cosmic green light to make your own decisions moving forward. So once you've got the money in the bag, for better words, once you've made your mind up, or once you get the contract, or once you get the intel on the 11th, then it's like, I'll do what I like, thanks, kind of day on the 11th moving forward, when Venus and Jupiter conjunct in Cancer and in natal second house at 13 degrees. Big day. From the 12th to the 31st, Uranus in your natal first house is trining retrograde Pluto in your ninth house. So from the 12th to the 31st, because Uranus is in your first house, so this is you behaving very, very dogmatic, for better words, and very erratic and very passionate about what you want to start and begin. And it might have to do with just extending yourself, extending your reach further, getting out and about in the world, travel, learn something, get into a new practice like religion or faith, really tapping into what you love with your heart's desire, wanting to grow and expand, connect with foreigners, foreign people, places, and faces, do something different from the 12th to the 31st. You might feel like you have a fire under your feet or feel a bit torn about those topics and subjects of the ninth house because Uranus can make you feel very, oh, what do I want? Where am I going? What am I doing? And can be really quite rocky for you. So easy does it from the 12th to the 31st. Moving on to the 22nd, the Sun leaves your chart ruler behind in its sign of rulership, Leo, and now moves into Virgo, your natal fourth house, an angular part of your natal chart. So this is a really important transit for you. Again, I'd probably say sit up and take notice of this information too. Not saying you shouldn't take any notice of any of the information, Gemini rising sign, but this is important. It's on an angular part of your natal chart. So your chart ruler, which is the ruler of the fourth house, is still in the third house of Leo, the sun sign. But the sun is beating you to your own sign. So this is very juicy astrological information, okay? Your chart ruler won't go into the natal fourth house until next month. So you're still working things out in the natal third house, if you will, in the sun sign. But the sun is beating you to the fourth house. So think life isn't a race, but it's like siblings, extended family members, travel, education, and the community is quickly moving into the home environment. Parents, parenting, your domestic life, your heritage, your lineage, your ancestry, real estate, property, parents, home, family, dads, primarily dads. So think of the natal third house that we just talked about leaving you behind. You're in the third and they're going into the fourth house. They're ahead of the game, for better words. So what the sun's trying to do here in the natal fourth house for 4 weeks is get a handle on settling things down in a home where you get sleep and rest, real estate, property, parents, parenting, ancestry. So it's like the third house and the fourth house are trying to work in unison here. So how this transit plays out for the sun in the fourth house is going to be really a lot to do with you because you're still in the sun sign. So I think you are in a astrological position of still doing what you want to do while travel, education, siblings, extended family members in the community are trying to settle things down, get things just so, while you're on the outside of it. So the sun's trying to get things in order here. The sun's job is to get something consistent. Like where's the balance? Where's the harmony? Where can we have a harvest? Where can we really capitalize on what we've grown and what we've got? In the natal fourth house of home and family and real estate and property and blah blah blah. Right? And so that sun is really trying on the angular part of your natal chart of the fourth house is trying to get some sort of consistent, normal rotation on the daily in the home environment. While your chart ruler ruling that natal third house is in fourth house is in the third house. So it's like you're not around or present or want to play nice kind of transit. Maybe trying to avoid the home and the family or doing things with family members or dealing with fathers or father figures or responsibility in the family. It's like you're trying to either avoid it or others are taking over kind of transit. Really dynamic for 4 weeks. So deep breaths, easy does it. Don't worry, your chart ruler will arrive there and all will be getting very, very settled very soon for the Gemini rising signs. Okay, how you doing, Gemini rising signs? A lot of info, huh? You're welcome. Okay, on the 23rd, we've got a new moon, so it's our second lunation of the month. And this one's at 0 degrees of Virgo, conjuncting fixed star Regulus. Fixed star Regulus is the fixed star of power, royalty, and fame. And this new moon, this new beginning is happening in the natal fourth house of Virgo. Now, new moons we don't see, they're dark. Full moons we do. And boy, oh boy, I'm sure you had an interesting full moon on on the night. But this new moon is it's something new, and new is brewing here in the home environment, or a new environment with home, or even father figures, real estate and property. Something's shifting and changing here, but it's a big one because it's conjunct fixed star Regulus. So this new moon is ruled by you, Mercury, and you're in the third house of Leo. So it can be quite a dynamic new moon, new beginning here, whether it's teaming up with siblings or extended family members, something to do with travel, education, or the community. Something's teaming up here, influencing or working with the family. So, like real estate deals or estate discussions, new starts for fathers, father figures, or even mothers. Um, Something new in the body, in the home, maybe physically doing something in the home. Um, could be happening here on the 23rd of August. It's a big new moon because it's conjunct fixed star Regulus. But more importantly, Virgo, Gemini rising signs, this is the first of two new moons in Virgo in your natal fourth house, because next month in September, there's a second one, but it's a solar eclipse. So if you are listening and you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you'll get notified when I upload Gemini rising signs astrology video for the month of September. Because I'm not going to get into it now, it's next month. But I'm sort of giving you a peek ahead. So this new beginning, it's like it's a fortunate new beginning. It's like, yeah, okay, new beginning. I'm getting like sitting up straight, Virgo, getting things right, getting ducks in a row, purifying, cleansing, cleaning the home, cleaning myself out. I'm getting ready. I'm getting structured, getting something structured here, Virgo. Getting ready to cash in on a harvest and keeping something sustained. And this new beginning, ruled by you in the natal third house of Leo, it packs a punch that no one sees. So this could be you doing like a Houdini act on your family. Like you're gonna, like, I don't know, get out of Dodge, travel somewhere, take off and do your own thing, learn something new, go on a pilgrimage, and don't go and hang with your sisters or your extended family members, or go into a different community kind of new moon is what I'm getting. Sort of like I need to plan to get out of here kind of thing, or do something new on the 23rd is what I'm getting for the Gemini rising signs. And next month, there's a second new moon, but it's the tail end of Virgo, which is like 28, 29 degrees. So this one's at 0. But because it's conjunct fixed star Regulus, it's like a very powerful new beginning that's sort of non-negotiable is what I'm getting. That you're going to be really quite certain about on the 23rd. Good for you. The next day on the 24th, the Sun in your natal fourth house is squaring off with Uranus in your natal first house. So this is a new alignment because Uranus hasn't been in Gemini for very, very long, in fact, 84 years. So it's only newly ingressed in here. So Uranus, the planet of unpredictability in your natal first house, is like in your first house of you, your body, your identity, your health, where you just want to break free and do what you want to do, but can be very erratic and up and down and in and out and not too sure. Uranus can make everyone feel like that. That's the function of Uranus, is to disrupt us. And in your natal first house, Uranus is disrupting you, your normal character, who you are, your body, your health, your identity, your appearance, how people see you. Very erratic, very up and down, all over the place. Maybe you're going through big, big changes with Uranus in your natal first house. So when the Sun in the fourth house is squaring you, so the Sun is sort of like looking back over its shoulder at you, Uranus in the natal first house, going, you need to like help us out. You're too all over the place. So we don't know where you are, kind of day. So if you're doing a Houdini act, or you're not playing nice and just going against everybody on the 24th, this can be quite combative. So easy does it on the 24th of August. On the 25th, Venus leaves the zodiac sign of Cancer in your natal second house and leaves Jupiter behind until the 30th of June 2026 to do his magic. And now Venus is going into Leo, where your chart ruler Mercury is, but Venus will be here until September 19. All righty. What I like about this astrologically too is Venus is now sextiling Mars in your natal fifth house, which we talked about of what we love to create, because Mars is in Libra and that's Venus' sign of rulership. So now they're sextiling one another. So things might start settling down as far as relationships and artistic and creative endeavors, children, sex, and intimacy. Things might start easing down now from the 25th, which is lovely. Okay. So I will talk about the alignments on the day of the 25th when Venus ingresses into Leo, and then we'll get into Venus in Leo for you, what it means for you as a Gemini rising sign. Okay. On the 25th, Venus in Leo trines Saturn and Neptune retrograde is sextiling your Uranus in your first house of Gemini and is opposing Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Big day, 25th astrologically. So Venus in the third, where your chart ruler Mercury is like, yeah, things are easy to connect with. So you can like take a trip, take a day trip, go on an outing, go and enjoy yourself. Someone can come in that can really help you, or extended family members, or help you with travel or educational plans. Someone can help you out in the community. Looks really nice on the 25th. Venus is also sextiling your chart ruler. So Venus is bringing to you like a relationship, a calm down, a harmonious day. So take it. Take the good when things have been pretty up and down for the month of August. So Venus is sort of bringing you something quite instructive and constructive for you to work with. So look out for gifts from community, siblings, extended family members, or something to do about a travel plan or itinerary, or to do with education. Really, really nice for that. But she's opposing Pluto retrograde in Aquarius in your ninth house. Now, you had that full moon in the ninth house on the ninth, where it was all about this is what I believe and that's the bloody end of it, sort of full moon. That's it. That's it. So with Venus in Leo, when she's looking across the solar system to Aquarius going, I don't agree with that. This could just be a challenge or a day of people throwing their opinions around. Okay, so and could be very combative. So watch for conflict. You don't need it. And you certainly don't need to be worried about knowing who you are and what you're doing. Other people just have opinions, or there could be cogs in the wheel. Things may start feeling a little chaotic on the 25th. And that's only because Venus, who wants things nice and wonderful in Leo, doesn't really want to think too far ahead, wants to keep it simple, stupid kind of thing and not be too far ahead. So she's sort of opposed to Pluto retrograde, saying, come and get out and about and do this and start this. And Venus is like, oh, I'm staying here kind of day. So yeah, interesting astrology, excuse me, when Venus ingresses into Leo. Okay, so let's talk about Leo. Venus's transit in Leo in your natal third house to September 19. Well, I mean, wowza. You've just been through it. Your Mercury's been here for some time and will continue to do so until next month. But when Venus comes in, she provides harmony and relationship and connection. She provides resources of value. So I like this transit for you. But Venus in Leo, what she loves and values is being seen, being heard, being individual. She likes a good concert. She likes to perform. She likes to be creative. She likes opulence. She likes theatre and dramatics. So we know that this is all fun stuff, but in the natal third house of travel, education, siblings, extended family members, and your community, this indicates that it's like there's like an inflammation of overstimulation. There's so much available around you to indulge and engage with. And not that that's ever a bad thing, but the fact that your chart ruler Mercury has really been through it, and now that you're running your own race sort of thing from the 25th moving forward, I wonder if you're teaming up with someone and just really doing your own thing, going wherever you want, going places that you want, traveling where you want to, learning about what you want to. This is a transit that it can just be all about self-indulgence and your own agenda, having your own agency kind of transit with Venus in the natal third house from the 25th to September 19. It's going to be interesting. I'd love to hear some feedback from the Gemini rising signs. Okay, so that's your astrology. So, in a nutshell, your chart ruler Mercury isn't going out of the zodiac sign of Leo, your natal third house, until next month. And this astrologically gives you plenty of time to feel out, if you will. Are you in the right community? Are you in the right spaces that can help you grow and flourish with education? What about travel opportunities? Do you need a car? Do you need new ways of transport? Do you need to invest in new technology so you can connect more and move around more with the mind? If it's not travel, physical travel, just travel to talk and communicate, and that could be through technology. And also with siblings and extended family members, and this can be about just creating distance from your extended family members and siblings just to do what you need to do when you want to do it, kind of transit, and community, seeking out different people, places, and faces that inspire you, kind of transit. So it's a big one. It's a big one for the Gemini rising signs. Can be a lot of up and downs, in and outs. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others. They're only transits. You've got this. It's astrology. Your chart ruler, Mercury in the morning star phase comes 16th, 18th of this month. Very powerful, dynamic, which indicates you're being very certain about where you want to travel, spend your money, what you want to do, what you're interested in, and what intellectually ticks your boxes. Very powerful astrology, Gemini rising signs. Okay, I'll leave it there. Until next time, stay cosmic.